Let's begin with the prophets of the Old Testament. These prophets were seers of their day. More than that, they were very spiritual individuals who not only awakened their intuition for communication with God, but by using our terms today, they were soul conscious, illuminated souls. As a co worker with God, they had earned the keys to the kingdom of heaven within, and they were able to teach what God needed the people of their day to know. One of the prophets was Moses, who wrote 5 books of the Old Testament, the Jewish group called the Essenes. Many Essenes considered themselves to be messianic in that they had been preparing for the birth of the Messiah for over 200 years. They would be the group that came to believe that Jesus was the Messiah, and they would become followers of the Way, which is how they reference Jesus' teachings. What helped the Essenes to believe that Jesus was the prophesied Messiah? The answer is the legendary Magi, coming from the east to honor the birth of Jesus as King of the Jews. The Magi claimed that the stars indicated this. Some of the Magi were known to be sacred Zoroastrian priests trained in astrology, as well as in other esoteric wisdom and practices. The Persians, of which the Magi descended from, considered the sun, the moon, the stars, earth, the waters, and the wind all to be sacred. The Magi believed in the easing of the powers of evil. They were worthy of admiration for their pious and peaceful ways and for their communal economic life, as well as being known for practicing celibacy. They had a school that taught their students astrology and numerology. They knew how to read the stars, and so they knew that the Piscean age had begun, and so the time was near for the prophesied Messiah to be born. The Essenes at Mount Carmel were actually looking for that special female who would conceive and birth the coming Messiah. Mary had been dedicated to this group, as was her cousin Elizabeth, who would be the mother of John the Baptist. Women held prominent roles in the Essenes. One woman in her reading, they referred to her as Judy, was a former leader of the Essenes, a principal teacher at the Essenes temple in Mount Carmel. She was a healer, a prophetess, and one of the primary contacts for the star guided magi who came from the east to see the prophesied baby. Her greatest role, however, was as the teacher of young Jesus when he was between the ages of 12 and 16. She instructed him in her home about the prophecies pertaining to the mission of the Messiah and the preordained experiences that the promised Messiah would suffer. Though there may be destruction of life and property, no one can destroy the soul but the self.